William was holding an envelope in his hands. Collins. He uttered the sender's last name. Who's this? I can't remember. The city of Boston, the return address indicated. The man scratched the back of his head in confusion. Apparently, this woman made a mistake. Boston is thousands of kilometers away from here, and I don't know anyone from Boston. She made a mistake, though. The address is mine, and the receiver's name is mine, too. I think it's some kind of scam. William wanted to throw the envelope away without even opening it, but he was too curious. He lived in a small town where everyone really respected him. 7 months ago, he became a widower. He had lived with his wife Susan for 34 years. They lived happily in a nice spacious house. Sometimes they quarreled, like any other couple, but still they loved each other. The family had a small vegetable garden, and they always had fresh vegetables, berries, and beautiful flowers. William and Susan had raised 2 sons, and they already had grandchildren. The sons and grandchildren often came to visit and support them a lot. During the summer, the grandchildren often stayed at their grandparents' house. Life went on calmly and happily, except that one day, Susan got seriously ill. The sons took their mother to the city for treatment, but despite all efforts, it didn't give any results, and Susan died. William didn't feel embarrassed by crying at the funeral of his beloved wife. How would he live without his dear Susan? His sons tried to persuade William to move to the city, but he refused and decided to stay in his hometown. The man was 57 years old. He always took care of both his physical shape and his appearance. He always wore clean and neat clothes, shaved his face daily, didn't drink alcohol, and had no other bad habits. However, the death of his wife affected him badly. His hair quickly turned gray, and now he had some health problems. He felt very lonely, and the previous coziness at home was completely gone. "William, don't you need a housewife in the house?" a neighbor inquired. "No, I don't need anyone but my Susan," the man said gloomily. He didn't even realize then that the neighbor was offering herself for the role of his housewife. A few months after Susan's death, single women over 40 became noticeably active, trying to attract William's attention. They asked him to help them around the house, make repairs, or bring heavy bags of groceries. One day, while William was drinking tea alone in the kitchen and thinking about his beloved wife, someone knocked on the door. The man thought that someone had come to ask for help once again, and he never refused to help anyone. He opened the door. It was his neighbor Lillian on the doorstep. "William, I won't bore you with a long conversation. I've come to make you a favorable offer. So, you're single, and I'm single too. We should live together. We'll live in your house, and we'll sell my house. I won't need it. I will take care of household matters, cook delicious food, take care of the vegetable garden, wash and iron clothes, and clean the house. So, what do you think?" William was confused and didn't know what to say. He didn't like to say no to people, but this was a different case. "Lillian, how old are you?" he began. "I'm 45. I'm still young, but very lonely," she replied. "That's the problem, Lillian." He took her hand. "You're very young. You'll need love and affection. But I'm no longer capable of that. I guess I've got too old." "William, what has happened to you? You were always a robust man with excellent health." Lillian wondered. "I don't know, Lillian. But please don't tell anyone about my problem. After all, it's a very delicate problem," William said. "Of course, I understand, William. I promise I won't tell anyone." "Lillian, you're the only person I told about it. Please keep my secret." "I feel so sorry for you, William. You're a decent man anyway. I have to go." Lillian immediately rushed to tell her neighbors about William's secret. The ladies were shocked. They stopped inviting him to visit, stopped asking him for help, and William lost his position as the most attractive man for women in their 40s. Actually, this was exactly what William had expected. so he wasn't offended. Why didn't I think of something like this before? He thought with a chuckle. It was winter, so the streets and trees were covered with snow. William made breakfast and then went to the grocery market to get some food. On his way back, he saw an envelope with a letter in his mailbox. William was very surprised because he had not received any letters for a long time. His sons wouldn't send him paper letters. They came to visit him every weekend and could call or text him anytime. William took the letter out of the mailbox and put it in the grocery bag. At home, when he put on his glasses, he could see the sender's name. The last name seemed completely unfamiliar to him. He was about to throw the letter away, but at the last moment, he changed his mind and opened it. "Hello, dear William," the letter began. "I guess you don't recognize my last name, because it's my husband's last name. However, perhaps you remember Amanda Smith." "Of course I do. A beautiful blue-eyed girl." William thought. "I'm sorry to bother you, William. I've heard rumors that your wife is gone. I've been a widow myself for 12 years. My husband was in the military, so we were constantly moving from one city to another. That's how I ended up away from home. I have an adult son who got married last year and now lives in his own house with his wife. I feel very lonely, William. I don't even have anyone to talk to. Do you remember that we dated when we were teenagers?" "Of course I remember, Amanda. I even kissed you once." "You did?" William smiled contentedly, thinking back to his youth. "It happened by the river, under a tree. You kissed me on the cheek, and then you felt embarrassed and ran away." "Why were you embarrassed?" "We went out 3 times, and then you kissed me. I thought about it for a long time and decided to write you a letter. What if things can work out between us now? I will wait for your letter impatiently. Or, come to visit me. You'll find the address on the envelope." William, putting the letter back in the envelope, noticed that there was a picture of a young Amanda looking at him. Amanda was so beautiful. She had both a pretty face and a perfect body. William thought. Not knowing what to do, the man went to his friend for advice. They had been friends since early childhood and trusted each other. "Do you remember Amanda?" he asked his friend. "That blue-eyed beauty?" "Of course. Why do you ask about her?" "Look." William showed his friend the letter and her picture. "She sent me this letter and invited me to visit her in Boston." "What am I supposed to do now?" "I don't even know, William. Do what your heart tells you to do. I can't give you any advice in this situation. You have to make your own decision." Amanda was very beautiful. I guess I could even call her my first love. "What about Susan? Didn't you love her?" "It's different. She's a lifelong love. But Amanda was my first love, you know." "Yes, I understand. When you joined the army, she didn't want to wait for you and broke up with you." "She didn't break up with me. She simply never made a promise to wait for me. I don't judge her, and I don't have any regrets about the way things turned out. I met Susan, and we lived together the whole life. Susan, I miss her so much." William sighed heavily. "So Amanda didn't love you. Otherwise, things would have turned out differently." "Maybe she didn't. Now I don't want to think about the past and judge her. Just look at her. She's so perfect." "Yes, she's beautiful. But William, that was 40 years ago. You don't know what she looks like now." "I really hope she hasn't changed much." "Well, I've made up my mind. I'm going to visit Amanda. If you really want to see her, go. In any case, you have nothing to lose. At least you'll see how people live outside of our town." "But William, what if you decide to stay in Boston? What about your sons and grandchildren? You'll miss them, won't you?" "I don't think about moving anywhere yet. First, I have to meet Amanda and talk to her. After all, we haven't seen each other in 40 years. "You're right. But I don't think Amanda would mind moving here. You can sell her house, build a new house here, and live happily ever after. Our neighbors will be very surprised when I bring Amanda here." "Yeah, I'd like to see their faces when they see Amanda. They'll be gossiping for a long time. By the way, Did you hear what Lillian said about you? Yeah. William smiled contentedly. I made that all up on purpose to get rid of the clingy ladies. Seriously. William, that's genius. His friend laughed. Okay, I've got to go to the city. I want to find out how to get to Boston. I won't say anything to my sons about my plans yet. That's right. William decided to go to Boston by plane. During the flight, he thought back to his youth. He remembered going out with Amanda and how he had met Susan. It was true love between him and Susan. He had courted her in such a beautiful way. But with Amanda, they only kissed, nothing more. William left for Boston on Saturday, and a week later, he was already working down the street in his town. His friend saw William from his window. William, he called out, come in and tell me everything about your trip. William came to his friend, but there was nothing much to tell. He began reluctantly. I went to see my sons and played with my grandsons. The youngest grandson is getting so fidgety. Friend, let's get straight to the point. Did you find Amanda? Did you talk to her? Yes, I did. What's wrong with you today? You look frustrated. I guess the trip didn't go too well. I don't even know what to say. William shrugged. I came to Boston and spent a long time trying to find the address I needed. The city is very big, and I couldn't understand which way to go. I even had to ask the locals for help. Why didn't Amanda want to come to your town? I didn't invite her. William, tell me the truth. Don't talk in riddles. I actually started to tell you the truth, but you interrupted me with your question. Anyway, by late afternoon, I got to Amanda's house. I approached the door, but I got very nervous. That's normal, she's your first love. His friend smiled. You're interrupting me again. Sorry, mate. Keep talking. So I was standing there, but I couldn't raise my hand to knock on the door. You've become so indecisive. You've really gotten old. You weren't like this before. Stop interrupting me. Sorry, William. Go on. I knocked on the door. I even got sweaty out of fear. I heard loud footsteps approaching the door. I even closed my eyes, anticipating to see Amanda. Someone asked, "Who's there?" I said, "I'd like to see Amanda." I heard the sound of the door opening and closed my eyes again. "What do you want?" a gruff voice said. At first, I thought it wasn't Amanda, for she had a very sweet voice years ago. I opened my eyes and saw a huge fat woman who was several times wider than me. "I am Amanda. And who are you? Wait. Are you the new plumber? Why did you come so late? Now you are going to work for half an hour and tell me your workday is over. What the hell? I called the plumber a week ago. Why didn't you come sooner?" She got really hysterical. Do you remember how polite she was to me in her letter? I was standing there, and I couldn't believe it was the same Amanda. After a few minutes, I realized everything and said, "I'm sorry. I guess I got the wrong address. I need another Amanda." I turned around and literally ran as fast as I could. "William, is that you?" she shouted after me. "William, come back. It's me, Amanda. You're at the right address. William." I was so scared. I thought she was going to catch me and drag me into her house, and then I'd never escape from her. His friend listened to the end of the story and started laughing out loud. "What's so funny? You're actually supposed to feel sorry for me. I've never experienced such horror," William said resentfully. I guess no one expected Amanda to change so much by old age. Yes, she was really beautiful when she was young. Except that I didn't like her personality right away. She was always very rude. Anyway, the main thing is that I'm home, and I don't even regret going there. Now I don't have any doubts or questions. "So what are you going to do now?" his friend asked. "You know, I'm definitely not going to look for a fiancé anymore. I'd rather wait for the summer. My sons said they would bring my grandchildren here for the whole summer. So I have no time to despair. Life goes on, friend."